A family trust has been operational in this planet Earth since the Normans attacked and won over Great Britain. So we're dealing with trust law which is 1,000 years old. Today we're going to look at family trusts and in particular updating a family trust. So there's lots of different types of trusts, bare trusts, unit trusts, but the most common trust in Australia is a family trust. And there's a training video on family trust, but today we're going to update a family trust. And we're going to you can update your family trust to change the trustee, change the appointor, change the deed only, and my preferred option is that you update everything at the same time. You update the trust deeds and everything else you need to do. Family trust deeds are a bit like your motor vehicle. They go out of date. Like a self-managed super fund deed, they go out of date. Like a company constitution, they go out of date and they need to be updated every so often, particularly with the change of government. My name is Professor Brett Davies and I'm a barrister at the High Court of Australia and a partner at Legal Consolidated. So here we go. We are going to build, in this instance, an update of a family trust trustee. Now, I'm a bit confused. What's the difference between an appointor and a family appointor and a trustee? So the appointor is God. The appointer hires and fires the trustee. The trustee is just a puppet, but a very important puppet, because if the family trust goes insolvent, the trustee is likely to go down with the sinking ship. So generally, a trustee would be someone or an entity like a company which has no assets. So if you're following an asset protection strategy of, say, the man of straw and the woman of substance, in that case, your wife might be a school teacher, such as my wife, and I'm a partner in a law firm, which is high risk of bankruptcy. So I have no assets in my name, and therefore I'd be prepared to be a trustee of a corporate trustee of a family trust. And I may well, and we're going to do it today, I'm going to change my family trust over from me. I'm the trustee of a family trust. I'm going to make it to be now a company because that's good for asset protection. So it's a family trust trustee update. There's a full sample of all our documents, so you can see exactly what you're getting, although your document will be different because depending how you answer the questions. You also have a checklist which sets out the questions that are going to be asked, and also the training video which you're watching at the moment. Plus, there are other examples in the introduction page about how many trustees you should have, some of the different types of stamp duty in different states and jurisdictions. But I'm going to start building, very exciting, I'm going to start building a legal document on a law firm's website. Now, when you build a document with us, you're building it at a law firm, and therefore Legal Consolidated Barristers and Solicitors, an Australian law firm, is responsible for this document. Now, I can pick up the data from an old document, but in this case, I'll just start the document fresh. And here it is. This is what you'll see with all our documents. So over the right-hand side, what am I getting for my money? Another training video. Why do you need the date for the trust deed? It sets out all the rules and regulations and lots of help there. Do I register the deed of variation after I've done it? Now, the name of my family trust is the Davies Service Trust. The word "the" is already in the document, so don't type it in again. All right, so it's Davies Service Trust, and the date I formed was in the 8th of June 2010. Well, that's kind of easy so far. I've identified the family trust deed. How did I find the date? Well, I got the family trust deed. Got the family trust deed, and I looked at the date. It was either on the back of the document or the front of the document, and I've put the date in there. What's that? You've done a number of deeds of variation of your family trust. Not a problem. We're not after the variation dates. We're only after the date that you originally set up the trust deed. 20 years ago, 1 year ago, but it's when you first set up the family trust deed. Okay, so now you're trying to find the name of the family trustee. Now, the name of a family trustee is just a nickname. It doesn't have any force of law. And the most common family trust name in Australia is the Smith family trust, because Smith is a very common surname in Australia. There's thousands of family trusts called the Smith Family Trust, so it's a bit of a nickname, but we need that nickname in this document. So to find the name of the trust, either at the very back or at the beginning, if you have a problem, telephone the law firm and a lawyer will help guide you as to how to find the trust name. Now, I've noticed I've got a green tick, and before you're going to see lock and build at the very end, you have to have green ticks for every one of your questions. The settlor. Oh, Professor Davies, the settlor died 12 years ago. I don't care that the settlor's dead. The settlor was just your accountant or your lawyer or just a next door neighbour or a stranger that gave the first $10 or so to prime, to start the family trust. So the settlor may well be my old accountant, John Smith, who died many years ago. He's dead, so he's at the cemetery, but I will use the address of which he was back in the time when he was alive. There it is. Now, if you need help there's a hint there. And there's another training video on this exact question. How wonderful. Why do you need the settlor's name if the settlor is a company? I've never known a settlor to be a company, but there it is. So we're still identifying the family trust, so we can update it for the trustee. Now the appointor, that was God. So just remember this: appointor is God. The trustee is a squash cabbage leaf. It's always being controlled by God, the appointor. And if the trustee's naughty or the appointor doesn't like you for any reason, the appointor can sack you and remove you from the trust deed. So trustees have to be very well behaved. So in this instance, the appointor is my wife, Mary Mavis Blue. So that's the appointor. And the appointor will have to consent to this, obviously, because the appointor is God, and God's got to consent to everything. So I've got that. Now, the trustee that's leaving, there is a trustee that's leaving. Maybe you're adding another trustee on, which is never a good idea. I think one trustee is enough for your family trust. It's risky to be a trustee, but the current trustee is me. And I'm trying to escape from being trustee. So Professor Brett Davies. There's me. I'm leaving. Trustee staying. There's no trustee staying. It's only got one trustee. That's me. And the new trustee is my brand new company, which I formed yesterday. And it is a company. Let's call it. How do you spell your first name?
I-Z.
I-Z.
A-B.
A-D.
A-B, sorry.
A-B.
E-L-A.
Good enough. Pty Ltd. And the company ACN. Don't need the telephone number and email. And the location of the property. So there it is. The old trustee was me. The new trustee's a company. I've done it. I've done it. This is pretty good. There's some hints here. The reference is, I'm just happy to leave it as family trust. I don't want it printed. I don't want to put the corporate logo on. If you're an accountant, financial advisor or lawyer, then you may well want to put your corporate logo next to our law firm's corporate logo. And obviously if you're a lawyer, then you may want to take out Legal Consolidated's corporate logo, but only if you're a lawyer, because this document's responsibility is, we are the law firm responsible for the document. So I'm now going to go to summary, and the lock and builds just appeared. See that? Now, people say, oh, Professor Davies, the logic flow is really tight and I've got to answer all the questions correctly. Well, of course you do. This is a legal document that our law firm is responsible for, so you'd expect that. So let's press lock and build. I'm going to put my credit card details in. So I put my credit card details in, and the document's now emailed to the email address on your account, and I can also access it off the law firm's website by just logging back in, but I'm already logged in, so I'm going to access the document now. You can come back in 20 years' time and use the data that you put in, and you can retrieve the document as well. All data and all documents are stored permanently on a law firm's website. Now, you'll note that the family trust is a PDF and it's locked. Oh, Professor Davies, it's locked. I want to change it. You can't change it because it's a law firm's legal document. It's drafted to be effective and operate under the Commonwealth of Australian laws. If you do want to change it, email us and we'll send you a voucher to make a change to it. So I've just downloaded it. There's the PDF. It is locked. First thing you'll see is law firm's letterhead, which says that thank you for instructing us to prepare the document. We, as the law firm, are responsible. Maybe your accountant or financial advisor put the data in, but we are responsible for the document. So there's the stamp duty. There's the laws as they apply. There's minutes. And there's the deed of variation. Identifies the document, the original family trust deed. The appointor is Mary. The outgoing trustee is Brett. The new trustee is the company, Isadab Proprietary Limited. This partnership clause is quite an important thing. If you're not careful, you should check your own family trust deed and amend it if it doesn't do it. But you need a no partnership clause in there. Otherwise, the appointors and trustees and beneficiaries can all start becoming liable for what the family trust is doing. What isn't varied? We're not damaging anything. There's no stamp duty or capital gains tax issues relating to this. Victoria and New South Wales are slightly different, but you've got help on the introduction page, and you can telephone us anytime. There's the outgoing trustee, and there's the remaining, or the new company coming in. And the document just needs to be printed and signed, and you've now updated the trustee of your family trust. There are a number of other training videos of updating the appointor clause, updating the family trust in other ways, which you're also welcome to watch. And you can telephone the law firm, start building the document, telephone us, and we can check the answers that you've put in. Enjoy the services of this law firm, Legal Consolidated.